Well, tomorrow's the day. MBA 600 starts. The RAGBRAI is over. Big 7 race is over. So we're ready to go. If you want to. Remember, you're still on vacation. This course does not open until August 19th. But if you guys want to start early, that's up to you. But there's one thing to say, it starts early. What do we do? All right. Step number 1. Okay. Always step number 1. Go to Blackboard. Everything we do in this class, you got to go through Blackboard to get started. Right? Now, if you go to Blackboard, look on the left-hand side of that Blackboard screen. And what you're going to see is you're going to see an icon there. And the icon that says, oh, I'm sorry. No, I got to back up. Nope, did something wrong. When you go to Blackhawk, the first thing you want to do is click on MBA 600. Okay, because I don't know how many courses you're taking, but maybe only one. But anyway, this is what you want to do. So click on to MBA 600. Step number 1, go to Blackboard. Step number 2, click on MBA 600 fall of 19. Once you get there, then you'll see the screen, Blackboard screen, and then you want to go to the left of the screen and you will see an icon, and the icon says My Stat Lab. All right, you want to click on that. Now, when you click onto My Stat Lab, it's going to bring you to the home page. All right, and what it'll say is like, what is your access code? Now, you don't have an access code. Well, you got 2 choices. Number 1, you can go to the St. Ambrose bookstore and you can buy it there. And it's, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of $90, but it's a lot cheaper than $200+ for the textbook, because we're not going to use the textbook in this class. The textbook is included in the system that we're going to use. Probably the easiest thing for you is have your credit card ready and buy the software package online, because that's the first thing you're going to be prompted to do, because it'll say, what's your access code? Then it'll say, don't have an access code? Well, would you like to buy one? And click on it, and then you can buy it right through the system. Now, you only have to do all of this one time. Once you have entered the access code, that very first time that you use the software, from then on, everything is automatic. All right, and you don't have to go through any hassle whatsoever. Okay, so let's see now that you do all of this, and you get My Stat Lab, and the package is right there for you. Now, what does My Stat Lab consist of? Well, that same page that I told you about, it gives you a bunch of options to get used to the system. Basically, here's what your system has. All the assignments that I'm going to give you for this class, all of the videos that you need for this class, all of the helps that you need for this class, step by step. How do you solve a problem? What do you look for in that problem? What are the steps? And then also, there is a book, but it's an e-book, and it's in the system, much easier than a hard copy book, because, for example, in the first, when you read your syllabus, in chapter 1, I only cover 2 sections, 1.3 and 1.4. So you go right to the book, ebook, you go right to 1.3, and it'll explain all the material for you. By the way, don't get confused here. I do not have busy work in this class. All I'm trying to do in this class is get you used to the statistics that I think you have to have for your job, that you have to be able to read and to understand. There are no exams in this class. There are no quizzes. All we have is assignments geared toward business stat, the kind of business stat that you're going to encounter in that job. Unfortunately, you know, this class is only 8 weeks long. With the extension, it's almost 12. But the point is that we still don't have time to get into the most powerful branch of statistics, which is called multiple regression correlation. And this is really forecasting for your company, and we just don't have the time to get involved in that. If you're interested in that towards the end of the course, I can steer you on to some very nice self-help books. Okay, but my guess is that with the rest of your courses, probably this is going to be your last stat class. Okay, if you are the type of person that has to have a hard copy textbook. You just have to have it. Well, here's what you can do. You can go to the web and you can search out elementary statistics, Triola, Triola, that's the author, Triola. And you can, once you click on that, try to get a version earlier than the one that we're using in this class. We're using the version 12, but if you look at a version 10, much of which is the same, okay, not all, but much, you can pick these up for a very, very substantially lower price. I don't know how much that is, but I also teach a math class, and in that class, when students went for the earlier edition, instead of paying $200 plus, some of them got it for as cheap as $20. So you can kind of search around. Now, here's what you have to be careful of, though. Okay, and I'm going to warn you about this over and over and over again. Some of you are very, very computer literate, and you know how to surf the web, and you know how to find things. Be very, very careful about searching the web and finding sources about MyStatLab saying, hey, I'll get you MyStatLab for such and such a ridiculously low price. Believe me, there's only two sources that I can vouch for, and that would be buying it strictly online through Blackboard, through the link, or in the bookstore. Other than that, when they offer you these ridiculously low prices, watch out, because there's a good chance that you're running into a scam. Again, how can you proceed in this class? Well, some of you will want to do the reading right away. Others of you will want to jump right in and go to the assignment. See, when you jump in and you go to the assignment, one thing you see in the assignment in the lower left-hand screen when you get there is it'll tell you the exact page that you have to go to in the book that will explain the problem that I'm trying to get you to solve. And so you can get to the ebook back and forth and back and forth. Now, one last thing before I leave. On the first sheet, the home page, there is one really important little section there. It says how to enter answers. You want to read that over and over and over again, because entering the answers the wrong way can cost you points. So you want to be very, very careful. Read, how do I answer questions as far as the problems are concerned? Again, don't be upset. You're not going to see any tests. You're not going to see any quizzes. All we're doing in this class is it's a practicum class. We're working problems that will demonstrate what you're going to see on the job. I am really looking forward to working with you this fall term. Believe me, even though we're starting early, that ending, October 11th, is going to come very, very quickly. And then I've given you some dates that should be for your own use, your own barometer. When should you have section 1.3 done? When should you have section 1.4 done? I've given you some dates, but these dates are basically for your own, just for your own use. If something comes up in your job, which is always going to happen, all right, don't worry about it. You can get extra time. That's always a possibility, because I know what it's like in the business world. I was there myself, and I know what it's like on Sunday night when they call you and say, well, you have to be in Pittsburgh tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock or something like that. So we can always work that out, all right? But again, I'm really looking forward to working with you. I'm glad you're in the class. So tomorrow morning is the day for those of you who wish to start a little bit early. Okay? Goodbye now.